Hello, I'm Steve Smith, President and CEO of Airlink. Thank you for joining me today. Today I want to talk through our partner update for May 2021. The latest from Airlink. Hurricane season. Airlink prepares for another record-breaking hurricane season. Read the latest blog that captures lessons learned from last year's season. Last mile logistics. Airlink's humanitarian programs manager, Bethany Holland, reflects on challenges of delivering aid to hard-to-reach communities in sub-Saharan Africa. The India COVID-19 appeal. Airlink is tremendously thankful for the contributions of the GAP Foundation and the ISTAT Foundation for the COVID-19 in India recovery efforts. Some upcoming events. June 25th, Airlink will be hosting a webinar in observance of World Refugee Day. Please go to our website for more information and to register. airlinkflight.org. Moving to Asia Pacific. India COVID-19 surge. Airlink continues to support requests for cargo movement from NGO partners responding to the COVID-19 surge in India and the broader Southern Asia region. To date, Airlink has coordinated over 65 tons of supplies with plans to move an additional 70 tons or more in June. With support from DHL Express and other logistics partners, Airlink coordinated 3 shipments on behalf of Global Medic to Kerala. These shipments included nearly 150,000 KN95 masks and 2,000 pulse oximeters, ready for distribution to COVID-19 patients through Indian Medical Association networks. Over 60,000 barrier gowns for MAP International arrived in Mumbai on donated airlift from United Airlines. And in coordination with the United Airlines Flexport.org and Siwa International, Airlink is facilitating the movement of over 121,000 pounds of cargo, including oxygen concentrators, conventors, and related equipment to New Delhi. A special thanks to corporate and individual donors that have helped make this a sustainable response, including the I.S. Wong Foundation, BOC Aviation, ISTAT and the ISTAT Foundation, United Airlines, the GAP Foundation, and Global Giving. Hawaii, flood recovery and relief. Severe flooding in early March left hundreds of homes and buildings damaged on Kauai, Oahu, and Maui in Hawaii. On behalf of the United Methodist Committee on Relief, and thanks to United Airlines, Airlink supported airlift for over 670 hygiene kits and over 100 cleaning kits to Oahu for distribution to those impacted by the devastating flooding. Moving to Latin America and the Caribbean. The Bahamas, Hurricane Dorian. Airlink coordinated flights for another wave of all hands and hearts volunteers to continue the organization's long-term humanitarian response to Hurricane Dorian in Marsh Harbor. The 21 volunteers will continue ongoing efforts to rebuild Every Child Counts, the only school supporting students with special needs on Abaco, and completing roof repairs for residents whose homes were damaged by Hurricane Dorian. A huge thank you to Alaska Airlines, Spirit Airlines, and United Airlines for supporting the additional wave of volunteers. Colombia, COVID-19 global pandemic. Thanks to airlift donated by Atlas Air and generous support from Flexport.org, Airlink coordinated the cargo movement for International Medical Corps to Colombia. The 40,000 masks will be distributed to IMC, programs team responding to COVID-19, supplementing their ongoing response to the Venezuelan refugee crisis, serving an estimated catchment population of over 53,000 Venezuelan refugees. Guatemala, Hurricanes Eta and Iota. In November 2020, Central America was hit by 2 consecutive Category 4 hurricanes, high winds, heavy rainfall, and extreme flooding caused by widespread damage across the region. All Hands and Hearts assessment and development teams have been working with community members in the Alta Verapaz, Guatemala, to identify the area's greatest vulnerability. Thanks to the support of Spirit Airlines, United Airlines, and Volaris, Airlink coordinated flights for 10 members of the DM-12 cohort who will be building a community centre with wash, water sanitation and hygiene facilities, and rainfall catchment and storage in Cesarjal, San Pedro, Cacha. In addition, thanks to the support from United Airlines, Airlink coordinated travel for 2 volunteers with All Hands and Hearts Discovery Recovery. In addition, thanks to the support from United Airlines, Airlink coordinated travel for 2 volunteers with Hearts and Hands Disaster Recovery. The assessment trip established building sites for indigenous communities in Santa Carina, near Panchajal, Guatemala, who were impacted by Hurricanes Eta and Iota. The ultimate goal is to provide sustainable housing and solar electricity to impacted communities. St. Vincent and the Grenadines volcano response. On the 9th of April, the La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines erupted for the first time after 40 years. The falling ash, flowing lava, and seismic activity displaced over 24,000 individuals. Thanks to the support of United Airlines, Airlink was able to support flights for a member of the IsraAid assessment team. The initial focus is providing access to safe water and hygiene supplies, as well as public health interventions to those living in emergency shelters. Now moving to North America. California, COVID-19 pandemic response. Airlink is proud to support the 3rd wave of All Hands and Hearts DM12 volunteers to respond to the COVID-19 surge in LA, thanks to Alaska Airlines and United Airlines. The program to date has helped facilitate over 80,000 COVID-19 vaccines and provided food to 750,000 people. The next cohort of volunteers will continue food distribution and vaccine facilitation efforts, as well as partner with a local organization to address racial inequities in vaccine distribution. Louisiana, Hurricane Laura recovery. Thanks to the support of United Airlines, Airlink supported an additional wave of 8 All Hands and Hearts volunteers joining ongoing long-term recovery efforts in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Communities in Louisiana are still rebuilding after being hit with 5 storms during 2020. Nearly all of the area's homes were damaged, and All Hands and Hearts volunteers are prioritizing sustainable projects such as the Resilient Roof Repair Program, ensuring that homes are able to withstand the impacts of future storms. Navajo Nation, COVID-19 global pandemic. Airlink continues to support Project Hope's Navajo Nation program. The community has been disproportionately hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, and hospitals have struggled to manage increased demand throughout the pandemic. Project Hope has worked with Indian Health Services since November to provide surge support for local hospitals, and thanks again to the support of United Airlines, Airlink was able to support flights for 1 additional volunteer to work on behalf of Project Hope to bolster vaccination efforts. Moving now to the Middle East and North Africa. Gaza, COVID-19 global pandemic response. In collaboration with International Medical Corps, IMC, and ANERA, and with donated airlift from United Airlines, Airlink coordinated the movement of 120,000 face masks donated by Premium Med Supply to support IMC's program in Gaza. IMC's initiative in Gaza includes efforts to increase access to healthcare, especially critical in the context of COVID-19. Moving now to Sub-Saharan Africa. Liberia, COVID-19 response. Access to oxygen continues to be a life-threatening challenge throughout the global COVID-19 pandemic. To bolster COVID-19 response efforts, Airlink coordinated the movement of oxygen concentrators on behalf of the Clinton Health Access Initiative. With support from Lufthansa and Flexport.org, this life-saving equipment arrived in Liberia for further distribution to health facilities. Madagascar, COVID-19 response. With help from DHL Express, Airlink facilitated movement of 100 pulse oximeters to Madagascar on behalf of Lifebox Foundation. The pulse oximeters and related equipment to the regional hospitals and COVID-19 treatment centres, strengthening the country's capacity to treat patients. This marks Airlink's first ever supported programme in Madagascar. And finally, Ethiopia, the Tigray conflict. Thanks to the support of United Airlines, Airlink coordinated travel for Medical Teams International to Sudan in order to provide health services to Tigrayan refugees recently displaced due to the conflict in Ethiopia. Medical Teams International is operating a clinic in Rakuba refugee camp and is providing support to the nearby Ministry of Health clinics and a hospital. Thank you for taking the time to review our monthly update. Please go to airlinkflight.org for more information or visit one of our social media channels.